We're going to start today's lesson. Today, we do have a special guest from the United States, Professor Weakley. We have been a good friend for more than 6 years since he came to Japan in 2019. That's when I met. And he's an expert in the global leadership, worldviews, and other things. And actually, he's been teaching in the United States, at the Western Kentucky University. Okay, so today, last year he came over to our university to give a special lecture on cross-cultural IQ. And you have heard of the cross-cultural IQ, also the IQ, right, and the emotional intelligence, other things. And nowadays, we are living in the age of AI, and so the cross-cultural IQ is very important to us. So the Professor Weakley is going to talk about it. And also, I will say that sooner or later, you'll be a good leader. Sometimes you may be doing some part-time job, so you may be going to be a leader. You are the sort of a leader while you're working at the part-time, right? And so you're going to learn what the good leader are all about. How can you be a good leader? And finally, he's going to add the life purpose. What is your life purpose? What is the meaning of your existence? Why are you studying at university? Those are the things you're going to think about, okay, through this lecture. And after you listen to the lecture, we're going to have discussion, and then you're going to write down some feedback, okay? So welcome, Professor Weakley. Could you come to the program? Okay, thank you for coming to GPU, all the way from the United States. So the floor is all yours. Yep.
It is wonderful to be here today. I am grateful to be able to be back at GPU. I recognize some of your faces from my class last year. And so it is a joy to be able to teach. For the next 4 weeks, I will be here at GPU lecturing both in this class and other classes as well. I have, as Obari Sensei mentioned, I have reason I come to Japan is because of my daughter, Hannah Grace. She is an actress. She is a singer. She sings the final season of Attack on Titan, a song called Memory Lane. She on that anime, and she also sings Fate Grand Order theme song. And so she has been here in your wonderful country for about 14 years. And last year she had her first child, so I came to visit a grandchild, and we lived with her while we were here. She is also an actress in Hanako Ta'an, an Azadora drama here in Japan. She played Scott Sensei in that Azadora drama. And so she is very, loves the Japanese culture, and it's a joy for me, my wife, to come and spend time with her and her husband and our new grandson as well. Obari Sensei mentioned a couple of things. One he mentioned at first about global leadership. This lecture today, I will be introducing it very briefly, but I'll be lecturing on it more in the coming weeks. But each of you will get this book that I have written called Insights on Global Leadership. I wrote it. It's about the topic of global leadership, and I will give you one next week. I will bring them to Obari Sensei and Ekla Sensei as well, and they can give you one. But today, what I would like to do is to talk about the issue of personal leadership. Obari Sensei said to you that someday each of you will be a leader. Each of you will have, even now, may very well be a leader in your culture. A person to people follow, a person that helps others move more effectively in their life. Today, what I want to do is talk about what does it mean to be a personal leader and what is necessary for you and for I to be effective in leadership. Now, you have the PowerPoint We will first talk about the impact of leader, the definition of leadership, relationships of a leader, and then that's about as far as we will go today, I think, in this lecture. Now, as Obari Sensei mentioned, I'm a professor in America. I teach at Western Kentucky University. Next week, there'll be some students and friends from Kentucky and across the United States that will be here at GPU. I'm going to be lecturing as an American professor, and I will be emphasizing with you and treating you as American students. And so when I lecture, I will ask questions, and I will ask you to give a response. In America, when we lecture, there's lots of interaction between the student and the sensei. They speak often. And so I will ask you questions, and then you will be able to respond. And so do not be shy. And so my professional friends from that last year, you will answer very quickly. But you'll be able to interact. But each of you will be able to give answers to the different questions that we will discuss. The impact of leadership. I have a question. In what categories of life do we find leadership? Where do I find leaders? I'll give you an example. One is in education. In education, there is a sensei, and he or she teaches students, and so they give leadership to the students. What are the other categories of life where we find leaders, or where leaders are influenced? What do you think? Give me feedback. Where else do we see leaders? Education? What do you think? Sports? Say sports. Like baseball leaders, coaches, umpire. Those are people that are leaders, okay, in sports. Or in basketball, you may have LeBron James, or you may have someone else that's very famous that is a leader in sports. Other examples. What do you think? Don't be shy. Excuse me? In companies, yes, in businesses. You have a leader, you have the president, you may have vice president, you have managers, you have people that engage, you have those that you answer to, you have the salaried man, and he goes or they go to work, and they answer to their authority or their boss. So yes, companies, businesses. Others. How many of you have a sibling, a brother or sister? Let me see your hand. If you have a brother or sister, okay? Brother or sisters. Who is your leader in your home?
Father.
Yes, yeah, mother and father. Oto-san, yes, they are leaders in your family. See, we have leaders in education, leaders in sports, leaders in business, leaders even in our family. And that's very important, because no matter where you are in life, you have someone that you look up to, but you also have the opportunity that you too can be a leader. How many of you are the oldest of brothers and sisters? You're the oldest. Let me see your hand. You're the oldest. Okay? Number of you. How many brothers and sisters do you have? One or two? You have two. So you have three total, and two below you. So you are the oldest. You are the leader of all your brothers and sisters. That's good. How many do you have? One brother and one sister, and you are the oldest. Okay. How old are your brothers and sisters? 15. Okay. All right, and so, okay, so you're the oldest. So you as well are a leader in your family. You have a mother and father, but you become the leader as a sibling. For the rest of your life, you will be able to be the leader. I am the youngest of 3 children. And so I'll have two older cities. But so you have leaders in many different categories. So let me ask you, are you a leader? Do you have some? How many of you here are a sophomore, second year student? Second year student? A couple? Okay. So if you're a second year student, you become a leader to the first year students. And the students will look up to you, correct? And so that is what is helpful to think about, oh, am I being a leader? Am I helping someone else to become effective in leadership? Now, this is the impact of leadership. This is my father, my Uncle Son. This is my mother, my oldest sister, my youngest sister, and then me. I was 6 or 7 years old, very small. I'm the youngest of all the family. So everyone told me, Thomas, you do this. They're the ones who told me what to do, and they led me. As I became older, actually, I was able to become a leader for my family as well as I went to college. Now, I learned from my father very, very hard work. Work hard. Be faithful. Be responsible. Do your job and do your job well. So that's the first man in my family. This man became also a very important leader in my life, where my father taught me to work with my hands and to be a hard worker. This man told me to work with my heart. He helped my emotions. He helped my spiritual life to help me to understand even about God. And he helped me to think, oh, I am more. There is more to life than just the physical. But there's also metaphysical. There's also other areas of life. There's life I can think about in my relationship that is spiritual. And then this man here was a federal judge. Very, very significant man. I am from Kentucky. And he was Kentucky Man of the Year. He was very prominent. He knew the President of the United States. He knew the governor. And he was very significant in my life. But he is the one who told me about my mind. I wanted to just work on the farm. He had a big farm with many cattle and big tractors. And I was always working on his farm. And I was content by just taking care of the cows and taking care of his farm. He said, no, you go to the university. You apply your mind. You think. And because of him, I had a broader perspective. He knew Japanese, and he was in Japan in the 40s and 50s and helped to rebuild the country even after the war, I found out. A remarkable man. So one man helped me with with my hands, with work. The other man helped me with my heart, and then he helped me with my mind. See, leaders help you holistically. Some people help you learn, other people help you work, other people help you in your heart. It's the impact of leadership. So I want to ask you a question. Who has been the most significant leader in your life? And what did you learn from them? So I want you to think, who is the person or people that have had the greatest impact in your life? Mine was my father and the judge. So think, who has helped you, has been your leader? We need to translate, or you think that, does that translate well enough? Okay. And then I want you to tell me your answer. Who has been your most impactful leader in your life? Okay. First, I want you to tell the person beside you, okay? Tell your neighbor who your leader was, who your most important leader. Tell the person beside you. And then I want you to tell me. So y'all talk to each other.
It's in Google Classroom. Check Classroom.
You understand? Who is your leader? Who is your leader? Who influences your life the most? Most your friends. Okay. See that. Yes, you should move it. Oh, yes, but yes, okay, yeah.
Original doors. Number one is used to Did you think?
You know, the actor who plays Jack Sparrow, what is his name? He is from my hometown. We are from the same hometown in America, Kentucky. Yes, Donnie Depp, he is from that hometown. Yes, in fact, we're from the same town. Okay, I want you to tell me, you've had a chance to tell each other who has been your leader. How many of you have said that your parents have been your most influential leader? Your parents, your mother? And how many say your mother? Okay, 1, 2, say your mother. Okay. How many have said your father has been the most influential? Okay, your father, Otto-san. Okay, the father has been. Okay, good. So who has said that a teacher has been your most influential leader? A teacher or a sensei? Anyone? Well, you have two very important senseis here. Obari Sensei and Nicholas Sensei. And so they would, before you graduate university, someone will ask you, who is your leader? And you will say, Obari Sensei or Nicholas Sensei, because they have had a great influence. How about, has anyone said a sports figure? Someone in sports, maybe a coach, has been your most influential leader. This young man said that his leader came from the movies, Jack Sparrow, he thinks he is a good leader. And the character that plays Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, is from my town. He and I grew up in the same town in Kentucky, in Owensboro, Kentucky. Then he moved away, but he was. Anyone else, movies, or an actor or actress, you have helped you in your being a leader, that you look to them. Anybody else? Okay. Others of you, who has been your leader? Who has been the most influential leader for you? Anybody like to volunteer? What did you say last year? Was your mother or father your best leader, or?
Yeah, I said my father.
Your father, okay, okay, good, all right, good. Anyone else on leaders? See, leaders, all of us are impacted by leadership. So let me ask you a question. Is there someone that is looking to you? Are you a leader? Or is someone that you are trying to influence? Now, it may be your brother or sister, or your other siblings, someone that is younger. But I believe someone is looking to you. And in the same way, you and I look to other people, that we in turn have someone looking to us. So I want to give you some definitions of leadership. Some definitions of leadership. Leadership is influence. It's the ability of one person to influence others. One man can lead others only to the extent that he can influence them. It is influence. What is the word definition for influence, or the Japanese word for influence? Is it on the list?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Huh? Thank you. Okay. So leadership is influence. It's influencing another person. Another definition. Leadership occurs anytime someone tries to influence someone else. I am trying to lead you and trying to influence you. I want to help to teach you. Whenever you watch TV and you get an advertisement and that says to buy a new pair of shoes, or to buy new clothes, or to buy a new hat, or to buy a new cell phone, what are they doing? They are influencing you. They're trying to say, oh, you need this. You need the iPhone 16. You need the iPhone 22. You know, they want to influence you. They want to try to get you to do something different. That is leadership. It's when when you watch a movie and the leader in that movie is trying to influence your emotions to get you to think. You know, Mission, how many of you, did you go see Mission Impossible? Any Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie, or Tom Cruise Top Gun? They are trying to influence you, even by a movie. So the word is influence. One more time. Leadership is a process whereby an individual influences a group of people or one person. It's a group or individuals. And my definition is accepting a calling on your life as you live a life of personal character, influencing others toward a goal. What you will see in each of these is the word influence. 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 Leadership is influence. And the question for you, and the question for me, is how do I influence another person? Now what I want to do is to address this question, or the quote by Mark Twain. Mark Twain is an author from America. He wrote many books. He has this quote I think is very important, because Obari Sensei, when he introduced me, he talked about that I was going to talk to you about purpose in life. And because every leader knows their purpose, they know why they are here. Mark Twain says these things. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Let me explain. He says the most important days are the day you are born and the day that you find out why you have been born. Last year I came to Japan, and for my 1 year old, for my newborn baby grandson, he is now 1 year and 2 months. His birthday is March 14th. That's the most important day in his life. He has been born. Each of you have a birthday. My birthday is August 27th. When is your birthday? January 13th? Okay, January. Who else is born in January? Anybody else in January? What was your date? Okay, good. Of our Sensei, yours is 19th. January 19th. When is your birthday? June? Yeah, June. Oh, June 13th? Okay, June 13th. Anybody else in June? Birthdays in June? His birthday will be here while we are here. Sometime this next month. When is your birthday?
September.
December?
September.
September. September what? September 9th. September 9th. Anybody birthday else in September? Okay. Anybody else in August? Mine was August. Okay, yours August. When? What? August what? 17? August 12th? 5. August 5th. Okay. How many? July. Anybody in July? Oh, two in July. Okay. July what? Okay. And July. Oh, July 4th. That's America's birthday. July 4th as well. March. Anybody in March? Oh, March. March what?
13.
13? Okay, and yours is March? 20. March 20th. Okay, the same month as my grandson. Now, let me tell you something. The most important day in your life is first your birthday. Look at everybody hold up one finger. Hold up your finger. Look at your finger. You have a fingerprint. And there are 8.02 billion people in the world. No one has your fingerprint. You are the only person with this fingerprint. There are 123, I think, million people in Japan. And so I don't know how many college students, but let's say, 10 million college students. No one has your fingerprint. You are special. You are unique. You are one of a kind. Nobody else is like you. And that's why your birthday, the day you were born, is so important. Because God the Creator created you and said, you are special. And you are wonderful. The second most important day, again, the first one is the day you are born, but the second one is the day you find out why. Of all the 8 billion people, why are you here? Of all the 123 million Japanese, and now someone else is from Burma, you said? Yeah, Burma. Who's from Burma? Oh, okay, 3. Okay, from Burma. Of all, how many people live in Burma? Do you know? You don't know? 5 million, 10 million. I do not know. But of all the Burmese, how many? Okay. Of all the Burmese, you are all different. Of all the Japanese, you are different. But the question is, why are you here? And when you find that out, when you realize, oh, I have been born for a reason. I am here for a reason. Let me give you a diagram. It's called Ikigawa. Ikigawa, I think that's a Japanese concept meaning reason for being. And for you and I, we need to understand what is our reason for being. There are 4 areas. The first area is you do things that you love. Oh, I love movies, or I love baseball, or I love to cook, or I love to eat. Then you do things that you are good at. Oh, I am good at writing, or I am good at sports, or maybe I am good thinking. Now maybe I am good with technology. My son-in-law in America is very, very gifted with computers and cell phones. And so I am not. And I need someone to help me with my phone. But he's very good at those things. Then it's what can be I get paid for. Johnny Depp has been able to get paid for acting. My son is an actor. He likes to act. But he does not get paid to act. He gets paid to teach children a language. My daughter is very good at acting, and she also gets paid for it. So she makes money here in Japan. But there's one other area that is very important, and that is, what does the world need? And for you and for I, when we start to lead or understand and lead ourselves, Kagawa is right here in the center. It's when all of these four things come together. And you realize, oh, I have been born, I am unique, but I'm supposed to have an influence, and I am going to help the world. If you were to ask my daughter, why does she act? Why does my daughter be an actress in Japan? She will say, I love to act, so she loves it. She is good at acting, and she gets paid to act. But if I ask her, why does she act? She says, because the world needs stories. It needs to understand stories and truth. And so she doesn't do it just to make money or just because it is fun and enjoyable, because she believes people learn by stories. And if she can teach a person to learn by story, then she will do that in life. I love to teach. I'm okay, not great, but I can do it some. I get paid not very much in America. Teachers do not make enough. But why do I do that? Is because I believe that young people are the most important people in the world. That college students from Burma, or from Japan, or from the United States, or from China, they are the most important people in the world. And if you can influence a young mind to think, oh, why am I here? And then help them to understand their purpose in life, and that they are loved by a creator, and they have a purpose, then their life becomes so much more important because they realize that their uniqueness is so very, very significant. Bar Sensei, would you like to?
So may I ask a student in what is your ikigai?
Or, yes.
Yeah, that they will have a discussion.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes.
that they can talk about what is your ikigai.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So this, y'all talk to each other and discuss this a second. What you enjoy doing, what you can get paid for, and what does the world need? Yes. Y'all discuss to each other.
Yeah, could you discuss what is your ikigai? What's the name of could you discuss?
I added that this year. I forgot to told people last year. Someone said something. So, it is very helpful, especially since it's this quote from Mark Twain: the two most important days of your life are first, the day you are born, because you are unique. You are special. Now, you're not just special so that you can do what you want, but you are special so you can have an impact in your world, that you can become a leader. And that's why it's important to find out why you have been born. In my own life, I realized that I had been given a great opportunity, even as an older man, to be able to come to Japan and to give lectures. I never had lectured in Japan until I met Obari Sensei. And so it's a very unique opportunity, and especially since now my daughter lives in Japan, and I have a grandson with his last name of Nishizawa. And so I have a Japanese heritage in my life. And so I think it's very important. So we want to explore this more. We talk about how effective leaders influence, but they influence people through relationships. Every leader has 3 relationships. There are 3 people or types of people that they have a relationship that they can interact with. A relationship in others, a relationship with themselves, and their relationship with someone that is influencing their life as well. Let me explain this by a diagram. The first relationship is the relationship that they have with other people, okay? That's what we commonly think of when we think of leadership. We think of, I'm leading and there's someone following me. I am leading and someone is behind me. Like if you're the big brother, your younger children, your younger siblings are following. And you lead to a purpose, or you lead toward an objective. Remember? What you love, what you're good at, what you can get paid for, but what does the world need? What is your objective and your purpose in that leadership? Secondly, is your relationship with yourself. The leader leads others to a purpose, but you and I, we have to lead ourselves. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. When you lead yourself, it is you come to class, or you make yourself wake up in the morning, or you eat well. It's that before you can lead someone else, you have to be able to lead yourself. And if you cannot lead yourself effectively, you cannot lead somebody else. And the third relationship, so first is you lead others to an objective. Secondly, you have to lead yourself. And that means you have to understand yourself. And then thirdly, it's the person that influences you and who becomes your leader. Like your father, or your mother, or your sensei, or your coach. And in my life, my relationship with God is very important to me, because I want to make sure I have a relationship with Him so I can listen and understand in my spiritual life as well. So every person has three relationships: a leader in their mentor, a leader in themselves, and a leader in others. All three, okay? Now we're going to discuss during this segment of the lecture each of those three things. Let me first explain what a leader does. When you think of leadership, what is the most important thing that a leader does for you? Well, I believe the most important thing a leader does for us, it takes us from death to life. Let me explain. 5 or 6 years ago, my cell phone broke. I had just gotten back from Japan. I had taken hundreds and hundreds of pictures of my friends, of the university, of the sites, Tokyo Tower, and all around Japan. Many, many pictures. Well, my phone broke. It would not work. So I took my phone to a phone repair place. And I said, my phone is broken. And he said, your phone is dead. Throw it away. And I said, I want pictures. He said, no. He said, the pictures are gone. Buy a new phone. I said, no. I took it to somebody else. And I said, my phone is not working. He said, well, it is dead, but I can take the pictures and put it on a new phone. And he said, I can fix your phone, but you will lose all of your pictures. And I said, no, I want everything on the phone. Then I took it to the third person, and I gave him my phone. And I said, my phone is dead. And he said, I can fix it. And I said, can you save the pictures? He said, yes. He said, come back tomorrow, give me 10,000 yen, and I will fix your phone. And I came back, and my phone was there. All of my pictures, all of my data, everything was here. He took something that was dead and gave it life. And that's what a good leader does. He takes a person that does not have hope and gives them life. He takes a person that has lost courage and gives them courage. So let me explain what life is. L-I-F-E. 4 things about leadership that a leader does for you. First of all, he or she leads by example. Your leader, the person that is influencing your life, is leading by example. They go before you. You can trust them. They realize, oh yes, he or she is honest. I can depend upon them. And they are able to do the things that you want them to do for you. They can be an example to you. Number 2 is they inspire you to a vision and a purpose. Inspire you to a vision and a purpose. Let me ask you a question. Someone, what do you want to be? What kind of profession do you want to have? Was yours marketing last year? Did you talk about marketing? Was it marketing or sales last year? I forgot. What did you want to do? What was your purpose? Or what job do you want to do? Excuse me?
Consultant.
Okay, all right, good. Well, you know, in each of our life, we want to find something that we really want to do, and a leader says, you can do it. Work hard. You will be okay. Don't give up. And they inspire you. They encourage you. They help you. What kind of job would you like to do when you graduate? Do you know? Excuse me? Oh, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. You can do it. You work hard and that's what a leader does. He or she says, you work hard, and they inspire you, or they introduce you, and they help you to be able to do something different. They give you inspiration toward that vision. Obari Sensei has been my mentor in Japan. And he has encouraged me. He said, you can lecture at this university. And he and I have tried to write a book together, and our textbook. And he says, let's do this together. And he gives inspiration toward a purpose and toward an objective. And that's what a leader does. First, he gives you life, he leads by example. He inspires you toward a vision or a purpose. But thirdly, they take you from fear to faith. I believe we live in a culture that is very fearful. We are afraid. We were afraid of COVID. We were all wearing masks and afraid we would get sick. When my phone broke, I was afraid that I would lose my pictures. That fear, people are often afraid of failure. They're afraid of fear of shame. They're afraid they're going to disappoint their mother and their father or their sensei. And we can be often led by fear. But a good leader takes away fear in our life. One person I heard make this statement. He says that perfect love casts out fear because fear involves punishment. But you have been loved perfectly. And when I realized that my Creator loved me and loved me perfectly through Jesus, that I thought, oh, it took away my fear in life. And so a leader first leads by example. They inspire toward a vision. They take you from fear to faith, or trust and courage. And the last one is they encourage your heart. They say, don't give up. You will make it. Work hard. You will be okay. And they do what you and I need. Keep working out. Keep deadlifting. You will be good. And the leader gives you encouragement in life. 4 things a leader does. example, inspire toward a vision, take you from fear to faith, and they encourage your heart. Well, I have a question I want you to discuss, and that is, which of the letters of life is most important to you, and why? All right. If you go back to the question, the four things, which of those four things is most important to you? Meaning, what do you need the most in your life? What do you need your leader to do for you? Do you need your leader most to lead by example, or to inspire you toward a vision or your purpose, to take you from fear to faith, or to encourage your heart? So talk to your friend, talk to your person that you're sitting beside, and discuss which one do you need the most, that encourages you the most. And we'll talk again in just a few minutes, so talk amongst yourselves. Welcome to our class. Good to see you. You can turn and discuss with
Well, what kind of leader do you want?
You can
Leader
turn
want you to
discuss
encourage or inspire, or give some good example? Or what kind of leader do you want? That's another question. What kind of leader would you like to have? Inspire for the vision?
No
And
way.
you can also say, what kind of leader do you want to be? So you can either, what kind do you want, and what kind do you want to be?
Yeah. Right.
Which do you
Have a goal.
30 kilograms. And so you have a goal to get more?
What kind of leader would you have?
Needs to
Yes,
show
What do
you
you want to be?
When I was a freshman in college,
so you don't go wrong way.
I had a friend, but he could
There's right way and wrong way,
so
right?
that would be.
So you want the leader to be like, no, this way.
kilograms.
For me, I'm always scared when I have like chance. I'm scared, like, ooh, should I? Should I not? So I want leader to be do it. Gives me, makes me afraid.
Yes, yes.
So for
And then you
you,
can
go.
train other people.
Show you go. For me,
Very good, yes.
for you?
Which one of those do you need? Need that example, that's the one that you need the most? Okay. And you want to be a YouTube channel? Okay, good, that's good. Let's see, have one, lead by example. How are you? Good. Which one do you like to do? Which one do you need the most?
Okay, so think together. So maybe say the goal, vision, purpose. So if he asks you,
Do you
your
like lead
answer
by
is
example
the I.
or
So you
inspire?
can say your future.
Wonderful, that is really good. Thinking and that is wonderful to have a friend like that can help you to think and to say, yes, you can do this, and let's think together. And that is very, very good. Yes.
Please, speak in English, please. No Japanese.
I was going to ask you, which one do you like to?
Inspire toward a vision and purpose.
You're also inspired toward vision and purpose. Okay. Good.
Do you feel fear?
What do you know? What you're thinking about your purpose yet?
Why?
Want a leader that gives
Do you
you.
feel sometimes fear? Do you feel
So
fear?
imagine like
I don't
a leader.
think it's
When
what
do you feel
it,
fear?
Yet. Okay. But you're thinking. That's good.
When?
That is good. Wonderful. Good. What did you choose this time?
Do you feel fear?
Encourage my
To
heart.
encourage your heart. Well, I tell you, you are a wonderful student, and you do help a lot of people. So, even in your profession, you continue to do so.
Sometimes if you
One
don't have
beautiful
money,
smile is
you
encouraging.
can't write it. That's right. If you when do you think?
Do you know what yours is? F from fear to faith. Okay, yes, that is one of the most common answers, is because I think we live in a culture that can be
Your
very
friend might
fluctuating.
be betraying you.
Thank you.
Betraying you. Your friend may be staying alive or get you some disappointment. Sometimes when you cannot trust your friends or when you are betrayed,
Eat the thing, you need to encourage your heart. What do you
trust is very important. Peace and trust. You have to have some self-trust and peace. What do you have to have peace? I don't trust humans. Human is no, I don't care about humans. Human is almost impossible.
Well, then, you study hard and learn this accounting.
You count on you see, you have to
Gold, also gold.
You were here class last year. Yes, I thought your hair's different though. That, at first I didn't recognize you. You lead that example. What do you want to study or profession?
What is most important in life? Money? Other than money?
He wants to be
Money means great peace. If you are satisfied with certain things, you feel great happiness. You don't think so.
Good to see you again.
You know, in the United States, millionaires, they usually commit suicide. There are no people like this. Even in Japan sometimes.
In baseball, you have to watch.
We can continue, but as you think about it again, I asked the question is because you and I need to have leaders. We need to have someone in these areas for each of us. Some of you said, how many of you said lead? I need someone to lead by example. Let me see your hand. Okay. Okay. How many said inspired by vision? Okay. This whole group, they were someone that would inspire you. Others from fear to faith. Who said from fear to faith? Okay. That has often been one of my most. That's been the most common answer because we really do live in a culture that it can be very fearful, and we are afraid of failure, or we're afraid of disappointment, or we are afraid of taking a chance. But a leader overcomes that fear and they move forward. How many say encourage the heart? Is somebody encourage the heart as well? See, each of us have. I see that. Yes, yeah. I have that. And then the other question I asked was, what kind of leader do you want to be? See, you
Speak
want
in
your
English,
leader,
okay? Speak in English.
but you're hoping that your leader encourages you or inspires you or helps to motivate or takes you from fear. But then you need to think through as well, okay, what kind of leader will I be? Will I lead by example? Will I inspire others? Will I help people overcome their fears? Or will I be one that encourages the heart? I was talking to my friend, and he likes to lift weights. And when I was in college, I did as well. I did lots of curls, I did deadlifts, squats, bench presses. And I know you cannot tell, I'm very old now, but that used to be true. But I had a friend who in college would meet with me every day, and we would go to the weight room or to the exercise room, and he helped me to become a stronger person like that as well. And you too can help somebody else that can do that. So the first thing we talked about is a leader gives life. And that's the first relationship, the leader and their mentor. And I even talked about in my own life how my relationship with God has helped given me life as well. Number two is a leader and self. And a leader in self talks, I want to give you a word called drive. It relates to motivation. So let me explain 4 words that you and I need to have internally that I believe will help us to be an effective leader. So if I want to be a leader that leads by example, then I need to think through how will I do that, and these 5 things help. First is there is a dynamic determination. Let me explain. When something gets hard and you hit a wall and you want to write a song, or you're wanting to work a weight, or you're wanting to create a YouTube channel, or do something, do you stop when it gets hard? I will quit. Or do you have determination to not stop, to work hard? And that's the first thing that you have to have internally, is to have a determination inside. Do not quit. And you will change no matter what. Example, on your phone, if you are traveling, it has GPS, Global Positioning Services, and it helps you to go from place to place. And if you are traveling and all of a sudden you hit a wall or the road is blocked, your phone will redirect you and says, turn left. I was walking to GPU today and I went to the wrong station. And I thought, where am I? And it took me a long time to get here because I took the wrong train from Ukoyama Station where I was living. And so I was watching this and I turned, and then it turned around. So I turned around and the phone told me to go in the right direction. It changed as I needed it to. And in leadership, you and I have to have a determination to change. When something happens and stops me, I have to move forward. Number 2, you need to be relationally connected. Relationally connected. You were talking about how inspiring a vision is important, and you talked about your friend, and that you have a friend that inspires you, and you think together. All of us need somebody else, a friend in life, that will help you think, and ask you questions. And so what has happened, especially since COVID, is most of us are friends with our phone, but we do not have friends that we talk with. And so we need to become people that are relationally connected. So I want you to think a second. Who is your best friend? Do you have someone who is your best friend? Maybe 1 or 2 people. Do you? And then you may think, well, if you do not have a best friend, you can ask, how can I become a good friend to someone else? Because leaders influence other people. They come behind, they follow us, and that becomes a friendship in life. So the first thing you need to have internally is dynamic determination. Secondly, you need to be relationally connected, or connected to friends, to have friends. Third is you need to have internal inspiration. See, I can tell you, work hard, you will be able to do it, or do not stop, you can make it. But when nobody else is asking you or encouraging you, will you do it? And that's when you have to lead yourself. You have to say, in the morning to get up, your roommate may say, get up, but you need to be able to tell yourself, I need to get out of bed and come to class. Or I need to get out of bed and go to work. You have to have that internally, not just having a friend to encourage you. Number 4, you need your values solidified. Now, I might do this next week for the class, But what are the most important values in your life? Like love, truthfulness, honesty, compassion, discipline, encouragement. There are different values each of us have, and you need to be a person, and I need to be a person that has my values solidified. For me, it is important to tell the truth and to be honest with myself and with others. A number of years ago, my phone, the battery went dead on my phone. It quit working. And so I took my phone, on my watch. I took my watch to the person and I said, can you replace my battery? So they took it apart and took all of the screws out. And the screws are very, very small. I mean, very, very small screws. And she put the battery in and she started to close it back up and she dropped the screw. And the screw is very small. And all of a sudden, she gets down on her knees and starts looking for the screw. And I say to her, what are you doing? She's saying, I have lost your screw. I dropped the screw to your watch. And I said, oh. And so I got down and I started watching, trying to find the screw. And I asked her, I said, what happens if you do not find the screw? And she says, I have to give you a new watch. I said, oh, so if you do not find the screw, I get a brand new watch. I thought in my head, that is good. And at the same time she said that, I touched the screw. So she stands up, and I stand up, and I put a hand in my pocket. And I say, so what happens if you do not find the screw? She says, you get a new watch. And then I thought to myself, I value truthfulness and honesty. Do I tell her I have the screw, or do I keep it in my pocket and get a new watch? So what did I do? I gave her the screw. And I did that. Now, I thought, but you get a new watch. But I believe in being truthful. I believe in being honest. And a leader has to know what their values are. They have to, and will I tell the truth? Or will I cheat on the test? Or will I work hard? Will I be honest? And so you have to, when you lead yourself, you have to think, will I have my values truthful? And the last point in drive is being emotionally healthy. Emotionally healthy. Meaning that when things go bad, do I cry or do I work? When things get tough, do I know I will stop or do I persevere? Because in life, there are many hard things take place. Many difficult things. And so a leader is a person who's able to control their emotions. You know, we have a friend who works out with weights. And when I used to work with weights, there was a phrase in athletics called no pain, no gain. That if you're going to get stronger, you have to work hard. And that is true of life as well. That we have to be emotionally healthy to persevere when things are difficult. Does that make sense? So a leader has these five things internally: dynamic determination, relationally connected, internal inspiration, values solidified, and being emotionally healthy. Now I want you to talk to your friend, and I want you to say, which one of these do you need? Meaning, which one of those that, I am not very good at this. Okay, so talk to your friend and decide which one of those that you, I think I need, for some of you, it may be you need more friends. Others, You may need others' values until you understand. So discuss with your friends about this. Welcome to our class. Good to see you. It's fun. I encourage you to think about, and I was talking to our classmate, one thing about leading yourself is the most important, one of the most important categories. That because you need to be a person who's able to think, okay, when nobody else is talking to me, what am I saying to myself? Will I persevere? Will I continue to move forward? And so that's where leading self is so important. We have one more relationship and then we'll be done for the day. And that is leaders and others. And in leading others, we've talked about already, leader and your mentor, that give you life, that you have to have drive as a leading yourself, but then what kind of person are you going to be to those that are following you? It's called leader and others. And I had the word serve up here. So I'm going to give you, again, 5 statements about that. It's in your PowerPoint on your. First of all, when you serve others, there is a submission to objective. One of the lectures I give at some other universities in Japan and in America is called servant leadership. The difference in servant leadership and just serving is servant leadership means you're going in at an objective. You're going toward a purpose. Otherwise, you're just serving. So being a servant leader is you have an objective, you have a purpose that you're leading toward. And you choose to submit yourself to that purpose. And so there's a phrase about a book named Cotter, who is a very famous writer in America on leadership. And he says this. He says, one of the most important things a leader can do is to be on a bus, figuratively, and to make sure they get the right person on that bus, and that bus is heading in the right direction. This morning, I missed my train by 1 minute. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I was trying to reschedule or to look at my train from where I was living to find the best one here. And I had to decide, oh no, do I take this train or do I take this train? But I thought, this train is faster, but it goes to the wrong spot. And so the train may be fast, but if the train does not get you to your objective, then don't take that train. And in your life, you lead others, but you have to lead to the right objective. And so you have to decide, that's why your purpose is so important. Your meaning in life is so important that you understand, so that you are leading in the correct objective. Secondly, you examine your people. You ask, okay, who is with me? Who are my friends? And where are we going? And you take a look at your people and their personalities and their giftedness, and you think, I want to make sure that each of them are doing well as we head toward the objective. Number 3, you release responsibility, or basically you give them the chance to do something. Instead of you doing all of the work, you delegate and help them to take responsibilities. One of the most important things my father ever did to me whenever I was a young boy was he taught me how to work. And he gave me responsibilities even as a 5 and a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old boy. I learned to work. I learned to pick up my toys. I learned to work in the garden. I learned to work with my hands. He taught me responsibilities. And a good leader gives responsibilities to other people, often by their giftedness, because you have examined them. Third is you value their insights. See, there are 2 different types of leadership. One type of leadership is he is the boss and he tells you what to do. You do this, you do this, and never listens to people. A servant leader is a person who asks people's opinion. They say, what do you think? You know, how should we do this? What is your advice? Now, the leader is still responsible, but he listens to the insights of other people and enables them to become more effective in the job. And the last one is you empower your people. You say, you can do this. Let's do it together. And so whatever your task is or whatever your job is that you're trying to accomplish or the objective that you're moving toward, you give them the ability and help them to do that as well. So what I've tried to do today is I've tried to talk about the importance, again, of meaning in life. We go back in Gawa, and that you and I need to be people who understand what we love, what we're good at, what we can get paid for, and it leads to an objective. And it helps you to answer that question, why am I here? Because the two most important days of your life is first, when you are born, because you are unique. Nobody else is like you. You are special. You are wonderful. You are different than everybody else. And so I am different and I'm wonderful, but why? Why am I important? And you need to find, that's what college helps you to do. What is your purpose? What is your meaning? And how can you help change the world and make the world a better place as you understand your purpose? Now, we've discussed that through 3 relationships. How a leader gives life, the person who leads you, they lead by example, inspire toward a vision, from fear to faith. We talked about how a leader has drive, and how leading others is that you are to serve. I am convinced that each of you here in this room, you are not at Globia's Professional University by accident. You are here for a special reason. And the reason you are here, or why you are here, you need to ask yourself the question, why am I here? Why did I get a chance to come today to hear an American professor? Why did I get a chance these next 3 weeks to hear from other American students as they'll be in your groups together? Why do you have the privilege of having Obari Sensei, Nicholas Sensei as your senseis? Isn't that wonderful? There is a reason so that you can learn and be more effective and learn to be the leader that you're supposed to be. Your culture, our world, needs leaders. And so it's going to be an honor and privilege for us to be able to interact over the next 4 weeks. With that said, any questions you'd like to ask or thoughts before I turn it back over to your professors?
Any questions?
Sensei, I'll turn it over.
Yeah, any questions or 日本語でもいいんです。何か質問ありますか？今日言ったことっていうのはかいつまんで言うとね、みんながどのように人生を生きていくかってことなんだ。で、みんなは多かれ少なかれここで学ぶ場合に何らかのリーダーになってくるってことね。それから大事なこと言ったね、最も人生で大事なことって生まれた時と、それから自分が何のために生きてるかってことを分かった時なんだ。生きがいっていうかね。だから学生時代に生きがいっていうか自分の将来のビジョンっていうかね、どういうふうに何を信じて生きていったらいいかなってことを学ぶってことは自分の人生に大きなインパクトを与えるし、いい意味で周りの人に影響を与える。でそのためにはやっぱ彼が一番言いたいのは、人間っていうのは一人一人たまたまこの世に生まれてきたんじゃなくて、それぞれが神様に愛されてたよ、目的を持って作られて生きてきたんだってことなんだよ。でそのことが分かるとだな、他人と比較する必要はないってことなんだよ。でこれ覚えておいてほしいんだけどね、人間の不幸幸福っていうのはその人に与えられた能力ってあるよな。ある人は英語できる、ある人はスポーツができるとかね。でそれぞれの お金がたくさんあるとか家柄とかそういうものによってその人の人生の価値っていうのは決まんないってことを覚えておいて、で幸福もそういうものによって決まんないってことで、そうでなくて良いリーダーになってだな、みんなに人々にいい影響を与えながら人生、自分の与えられたミッションってものを達成していくときに大きな人生の祝福と生きがいを感じるってことなんだな。だからここの大学で学んでほしいことは、英語学んだり専門学んだりいろんなことするんだけども、今日は人生の基本中の基本だな、生きがいっていうかね、これはグローバルビジネスとか MBA って大学院のビジネススクールでもこういうことを最近は教え始めるようになったっていうかね、生きがいっていうか、だから自分の生きがいが何かなと、ワクワクすることって何なのかなってことを探しながらだな。ただぼーっとしてクラスの中で授業を受けてんじゃなくて、やっぱり自分のタレントとかやりたいこととか能力とかな、そういうものをこう見出してほしいんだな。たまたま私がここに来たのも、いくら先生もあるいはウィグリ先生